helped along by a dynamic defense more than capable of scoring touchdowns on its own.
I think through that season, in retrospect, that's where the team developed intestinal fortitude. There's something that champions have, and Chuck is always saying it, he just calls it rise to the occasion. And that's all encompassing for me.
This Pittsburgh run through the playoffs would be different from the rest, starting with the defense's special recipe for the Bills.
We figured out scientifically, without any prejudice, who's going to win the ball game. The Steelers are going to win because they're hungry. They didn't have no breakfast today. They've been waiting for the juice.
The steel curtain shut down running back O.J. Simpson, while the offense exploded.
Bradshaw's back. The rush is on. He has to unload it. He does to Bleier. Bleier going in for the touchdown.
Pittsburgh's lopsided win propelled them to the conference championship and a rematch with their most bitter rival.
That week was a week I learned to not like the Oakland Raiders. They were a nemesis, an evil to be defeated in the life of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh would seize their first AFC crown on the strength of tackle Ernie Holmes and the front four.
I saw him in the AFC Championship game against the Raiders just be probably as dominating as you can be playing defensive line. The Raiders ended up running the football for about 28 yards total that day, and they loved to run that way, left side, right where Ernie was lined up.
Mostly they would attack to their left because Art Shell and Upshaw were there on the left side, Upshaw being the guard and Art Shell being the tackle. But they were almost entirely running to their left, our right, which meant that Dwight White, Fats Holmes, and I were getting the brunt of the action. In fact, once time during that game, Jack Ham came in the huddle and he was so bored, he said, let me take a few shots over on your side.
They were just bewildered. They could not believe what was happening to them. You've heard people brag about a lot of things. They talk about being in the zone. They don't know what the hell the zone is about. Because you don't get there. You don't live in the zone. You visit the zone probably once in your life. I played 13 years. I was in the zone one time, and that was in a playoff game against the Raiders. I think our team was in the zone. It didn't matter who we played, where we played them, they were going to lose.
The game was tight the whole game, could have gone either way in the fourth quarter. And I think the key play of that game was Jack Ham. He had 2 interceptions, I think, that game, but he suckered Stabler in to go into one of his running backs, and he kind of hung back. I couldn't do that kind of thing because I didn't have that burst, but he had the burst that could accelerate it.
Stabler's back to throw, and it is intercepted by Jack Ham.
You know, we just start to feel more in control of that, and really tell you the truth, start feeling, you know, I think we're the better team here, guys. I tell people that was the biggest game of the whole 70s team, and that really set the tone for what was to come for the rest of the decade.
When you have not won anything in your history, and in that precise moment when you know that the next ball game will be in the Super Bowl, it is, oh man, it just doesn't get any better. It doesn't.